Hi, and welcome to this live reading from Everwood County Plantation by Stacy-Deanne, and this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1. I can't believe this! 29-year-old Zenni Parker paced in the living room of her short-term rental, screaming to her best friend Vanessa Thompson over the phone. Colton Sage is going to tear down the Everwood Plantation. He wants to demolish it and build townhouses or something. Good. Vanessa chewed on something, and Zenni guessed it was orange slices, since she loved eating them for breakfast. I hope he blows it to smithereens and people forget it ever existed. No, Zenni rubbed her forehead as she walked over her ivory carpet on bare feet. V, this isn't a good thing. Tell me how the hell it's not. This is a damn plantation where slaves, your own family ancestors, by the way, were held in captivity and treated like animals. Colton wants to destroy it. How can that not be a good thing? Because it's still history? Zenni plopped down on the suede couch. Of course, slavery was ugly, but it's still an important part of our lives. As a black woman, keeping that history alive is important. Well, as a black woman, I'd burn the damn thing down myself. I couldn't even stand to drive past the place without becoming enraged, so I don't see how you can defend it. It's a part of my family history. My entire family, all dead now, shall I remind you, came from Everwood County. Came from that plantation, and despite the horrible things that happened there, it's a part of this town. It's a part of me. I can't let Colton just tear it down so he can throw up condos for his rich-ass friends. No. How are you going to stop him? Vanessa chewed. Colton Sage is one of the richest men in the world. He comes from a long line of wealth. Old money. He's Georgia royalty, and from what I've heard, doesn't he practically own Everwood County? That plantation belongs to the town, not Colton Sage. Zenni sat back, chewing her lip. He thinks because he has money, he can do whatever the hell he wants. Well, he can't here. I'm the only one who can stand up for the plantation, and I will. You know how stupid you sound? A black woman fighting to keep a plantation up? That your family was owned on that land should be a reason enough to want it gone. It's all I have left of my family. Tears filled Zenni's eyes. My grandparents are gone. My mother is dead. And I never knew my daddy. It's just me here now. She stroked her thick, luscious black waves that ran down her back. I remember all the stories my grandparents told me about the plantation. They knew it was important to teach me the history, no matter how ugly it is. History is important, Vanessa. Besides, I don't like how some rich white man thinks he can just erase it. There's a bigger picture here. Yes, that place is a sign of ugliness, but it deserves to be here as a reminder. Vanessa sighed. I thought you went to Everwood County to evaluate the damage of your grandparents' place from the hurricane, not to pick a fight with Colton Sage. My entire family history stems from that plantation, V. I can't just let Colton Sage wipe it off the face of the earth. I guess a part of me understands where you're coming from. Because you never had much family, you always clung to the little you had. I feel so alone, V. Oh, no, wait. You're not alone as long as I'm alive. I may be in Chicago and you in Georgia, but you're never alone. How was your first week back in Georgia? Weird. I can't believe I've been gone since I was 18. Zenni glanced around the white room filled with modern furniture. Doesn't feel like I ever lived in Everwood County. How long are you going to stay? It's going to take a while to assess the damage, to do the cleanup, and get with the insurance company. And I'm the only one who can take care of it, so I don't have a choice. Thanks again for letting me get this time off from the shop. Oh, girl, no problem. You're my best florist, so the shop definitely isn't the same without you, but I understand. Zenni smiled. Besides, what good is it to have your best friend as your boss if you can't get time off when you need it? Sorry again about your grandparents' place. Have you checked it out yet? It's heartbreaking to see the place you grew up in destroyed. It's just a pile of wood and dust. My grandparents lived in that house over 50 years, and in just a day, it's destroyed. Was there anything to salvage? Zenni sighed, propping her foot up on the coffee table. Not much. Oh, I'm so sorry. See, this is another reason I gotta fight to keep the plantation. I've already lost my grandparents' place. I can't lose anything else. I just don't see what you can do to stop Colton. Well, Colton's human, right? He has to have some type of heart. I can appeal to him and let him know how much the place means to me. Why do you think he'd care about that? Zenni wiggled her toes. I have to try. Okay, and if that doesn't work, which most likely it won't, then what? I play hardball. Zenni flipped her hair off her shoulder. Either way, he'll know I mean business. But I need to talk to him first. No way in hell Colton Sage is going to stop his plans just because you bat your eyes and wiggle your hips. Zenni raised an eyebrow. We'll see. Ah, Miss Parker. A tall, slender blonde woman who looked a few years past 60 greeted Zenni at the entrance of Colton Sage's gigantic colonial-style mansion. It's nice to meet you. I'm Sandy Crouch, the housekeeper. Please come in. Zenni hesitated, feeling like she wasn't worthy to even look at such a fabulous building, let alone enter it. Let me take this for you. Sandy's cheeks beamed with cheerfulness when she took Zenni's purse. She seemed to love her job, but why wouldn't she? Colton probably made her $1 million just to iron a shirt. If Zenni could score a job like that, she'd be happy too. Please follow me. Sandy led Zenni down a massive hallway of regal mahogany and redwood walls. Zenni stopped in her tracks when she saw the elevator. Of course, Colton was a billionaire, but still, she'd never seen an elevator in a home before. This place is out of this world. Sandy chuckled. I'm sure Mr. Sage would be glad to hear you think so. He puts a lot of pride in the decor and upkeep. They passed a never-ending winding staircase that looked like it reached heaven, and across from there sat 2 wooden doors with intricate carvings on them. The house smelled like pine sol and money. Here we are. Sandy slid open the double doors to a living room bigger than Zenni's entire rental. Wow. Zenni breezed in, basking in the wondrous sight. The giant TV that reached from one end of the room to the other stole her attention immediately. This TV is bigger than my kitchen. It's got to be, what, 80 inches? Try 100. Sandy's eyes sparkled. It was custom-made and imported straight from Japan. Excuse me, custom-made? Zenni looked at Sandy, batting her eyes. He had this specially made? Of course. It's equipped with even technology that's not on the market yet. No need for a remote or anything. Everything's voice-controlled. You name it. Sandy strolled to the bar on the other side of the room, which probably had every brand of liquor ever invented. He's having the place redone into a smart house. She smiled. Do you have a smart house? A smart house? Zenni laughed. Woman, I don't even have a house. I live in an apartment in Chicago. I'm renting a place here temporarily. Oh, don't you live here? No, I'm from here, though. I moved to Chicago when I was 18. Except to visit my grandparents through the years, this is the first time I'll be back in an extended amount of time. I see, Sandy sat on a stool at the bar. Visiting your grandparents? No, they're dead now. Been gone a few years. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm here to assess damage from the hurricane. My grandparents' place was destroyed, and I'm the only family left, so... Oh, I'm so sorry. Where did they live? Eastleigh Road. I'm sorry. I pass there all the time, and I don't know what's taking the government so long to disperse funds to those people. That hurricane was over a month ago. Yep. Zenni walked around, feeling the slate blue carpeting was out of place, but along with the indigo curtains gave the room its only dash of color. I'm not surprised it's taking forever if they'll help at all. When money is being passed around, usually certain communities get left out, if you catch my drift. Sandy pressed her lips together. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. That's life, Zenni shrugged. All we can do is live with it. Or change it. A male's voice boomed with authority, but also had a soft edge that pulled you out of the lush surroundings and made you feel at home. That's what I'd do. Colton Sage came into view, those frost blue eyes immediately hitting Zenni's soul. Well, you must be Zenni Parker. His gaze caressed her curves. You're not exactly what I pictured.